Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Okay, so we're still talking about the conversation surrounding the Charlie Kirk Memorial, and already the leftist media is showing their fangs. They're attempting to inject venom into the public conversation as per usual. You know, the typical fear-mongering tactics, the continued attempts to dehumanize us, the latest talking point being the Charlie Kirk Memorial was a white nationalist rally.
What you are seeing here is a movement called Christian nationalism that merges Christianity as it's been practiced in America for, centuries with a very specific interpretation of what the founding fathers wanted, what Aristotle wanted, going all the way back to the ancients. And a proponent of this strain of interpretation of the Bible merged Christianity and protecting the Western civilization values into one and the same thing. It's a very somewhat convoluted argument, but if you distill it into the right talking points, it really hits you in the patriotic heart area, as it were.
Classic fear-mongering, and of course they're trying to apply a negative spin on the Charlie Kirk Memorial. And I can rant and go on a monologue expressing exactly why they're wrong and why what they're doing is disgusting, and we'll probably get to that later. But even though we're still going to rag on these leftists for their despicable actions, in this case it's actually not necessary. In order to debunk a lot of the stuff the left is saying about this rally, claiming it's a Nazi rally, a Christian nationalist rally, I don't really need to say anything. No, in fact, all I gotta do is show you guys a moment during the Charlie Kirk Memorial that tells you everything that you need to know about who we are as a movement. A moment so pure, so full of kindness, that it cuts through all of the noise, all of the BS, and in my view, I think it reveals the actual heart of our community. And of course, it's a moment that the media will never highlight because it doesn't aid them in pushing their despicable narratives. But that, of course, is exactly what we do here at the Liberal Hive Mind. I show you the stuff the media wants to hide. And so let's talk about it. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks. So at the Charlie Kirk Memorial, there was a moment where DJ Daniel, he's the child cancer warrior who's become an honorary member of Trump's Secret Service.
Daniel is 13 years old and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
I'm sure you guys remember DJ Daniel. Well, on the floor at the Trump rally, he noticed that Madison Cawthorn's shoes were untied. And of course, we know Madison is wheelchair bound. He can't tie his shoelaces himself. So Daniel walked up, bent down, and tied them for him. And then after that happened, Madison pulled him close and the two said a prayer together. Take a look. Now, I want you to stop and just think about that. Think about how wholesome and beautiful that moment is. And then realize these are the people that they are slandering. This is our community. And even above that, I think this represents our humanity. And yet, what do we hear from the left? That this was a Nazi rally. It was a hate rally. The people inside are extremists, Christian nationalists, who want to revive fascism in the country and declare war on the, quote, innocent left. Think about how disgusting that is. Think about how much contempt it takes, how much darkness you have to have in your heart to look at a room full of families and parents, children, people of faith, people grieving the loss of a great leader, and to smear them as Nazis.
He had more lifetimes in 31 years than all of us have in the entirety of our own. To recount all that he's accomplished in 31 years is quite a feat. Without Charlie Kirk's presence, they pulled off the largest event in Turning Point history.
And for me, this is personal. It's been personal because I've got the inside view. I've been in this business for a pretty long time at this point. I mean, maybe not that long considering people who have been in the business for decades, but I've been running this channel, I think we're going on 6 years at this point, and I've had the privilege to attain nearly 2 million followers. Millions of people watch my videos monthly, and so I've had exposure to you great people. I've seen it. I've read the comments. I spend a lot of time reading your guys' comments, especially on my community posts. And so for me, again, it's personal. I know my viewers. I know who you guys are. You're some of the most genuine, most decent, salt-of-the-earth people in the world. You're hardworking, your heart's in the right place, you're God-fearing folk, you're family people. I understand the values that represent this community very directly. And it infuriates me when I see the left, when I see these media actors slander you the way that they do. Because I know the truth. I know exactly who you are. I know what this movement is and what it represents. I know that it's filled with love. And I know that at the core of this movement, all people really want is to live a better life, to make a better America. You want your children to inherit a better America. And again, that's what this memorial represented. A lot of people were confused. Why was it so upbeat? Why was it so cheerful? Well, again, it shows the character on this side. It wasn't about hate. It wasn't about division. It wasn't about being sad and mourning Charlie Kirk's death from a feeling of despair. It was about celebrating his life. It was about unity. And a lot of the talk was focused on widening the tent, bringing more people in, people lifting each other up in a moment of grief and saying, we are not going to be broken, or probably more accurately, we will not let them break us. And they look at that and try to paint it as something dark, as if you're evil. It's freaking wrong. And the contrast couldn't be clearer. They point inside the rally and say, ooh, look at how dangerous and evil that is. Meanwhile, it's moments like what we saw with DJ Daniel and Madison Cawthorn. And the leftist representation, well, that was on clear display outside.
Oh my God, that was Look out, Project, got that little girl crying.
Outside the memorial, you saw the other side on full display. Protesters screaming vile things, and not just at adults who are attending the rally, but making little girls cry, carrying a sign that's basically calling for the death of us. That's the left in 2025. And yet the media calls you hateful. These are the people who claim that we're the danger. It's pure projection. It's a distraction. Everything they accuse us of, they themselves embody. They call us terrible people, but they're the ones screaming in children's faces. They call us fascists, but they're the ones who abused power and attempted to silence our dissent. They called us extremists. They slap labels on us. They slander us. They claim we're violent, yet they're the ones openly fantasizing, glorifying, and celebrating violence. As they attempt to flip the script and make it seem as if we're the violent ones, we're now the ones calling for retaliatory violence, when the exact opposite is what the truth is, what we are doing. And so let me tell you something. Don't ever let them define who you are. Don't let their slander make you doubt the truth, because the truth is in that clip, the proof is in the pudding. And crazy enough, once again, DJ Daniel's mere presence puts it all into clear perspective. Just like that moment where they refused to stand up and clap for him. We're going to win in the end, folks. We are going to win. The more exposure, the more this story is told, the more history is logged, the clearer it becomes that we simply have the moral high ground. Their culture of hatred will not endure. They can scream, they can lie, they can smear, but they cannot stop this movement, because this movement is not built on hate. It's built on faith. It's built on family. It's built on love of country. And those are things, if genuine, no amount of smears, no smear campaigns can ever destroy. And I'll say it plainly as I can. This is why they're losing. This is why the tide is turning. This is why people are waking up. People are seeing the lies. They're sick of the slander. They're seeing who we truly are through our actions, through our words, rather than their false representations. And so I guess just let our actions speak louder than their words. And I think the rest will pretty much work itself out. Now, of course, by no means does that mean get complacent. No, it's time to get even more politically active. But I don't think there's really any need for getting in the mud with these people anymore. We don't need to stoop to their level. We just need to continue doing exactly what we're doing. And I think their vitriol is kind of proof of that. The more extreme the left gets, it means the more they're losing grip. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.